Good afternoon, guys. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Currently a Friday afternoon. I think it is about 3:30 in the afternoon now, but anyways. So when I asked you guys what you wanted to see in this week's style video, you guys had some amazing suggestions, but this one was definitely very requested. So today I'm going to be focusing on shoes, and I'm pretty much just going to go through all the shoes that I think are absolutely necessary to have in your wardrobe. I think that you can have a million different shoes in your wardrobe. Today I'm just focusing on the absolute necessities. I'm not going to go into like every single shoe that I own or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you which ones I think you absolutely have to create the perfect capsule shoe wardrobe. Pretty much I'm going to just concentrate on shoes today, and potentially next week I will do a video that will concentrate more on bags and other accessories. But for now we are just going to be talking about shoes. I'm going to stop rambling now and I'm just going to get started. But before I do so, I just want to remind you guys that a lot of these shoes I have bought over a long period of time, and I also got gifted a lot of these shoes as well. So please just keep that in mind when you are watching this video, and don't feel bad if you don't already own all the shoes I'm going to mention, okay? All right, let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to start with white sneakers. So white sneakers are arguably one of my favorite shoes to wear. They are my go-to on most days and go with literally all of my outfits. I have a few pairs of white sneakers, but these ones are probably my 3 favorite pairs. There are so many options for white sneakers, and I've owned so many different pairs in my life. Some brands I would recommend looking at are Converse, Vans, Superga, Reebok and Muji. It sort of depends on your price point, but I would also recommend Axel Arigato, Redone and of course Common Projects if your budget permits. The first pair are my high top white leather Converses. These ones I have probably worn the least out of the 3 pairs, which is obvious as they are the most clean and new looking. Next up are these white and beige leather sneakers from Redone. I love the suede paneling in these ones. They are perfect if you want to wear a white sneaker but have the look be a little bit more elevated. And the last pair are my Reebok Classics. I definitely have worn these ones the most, as you can see from the wear on the shoe. To be honest, I actually prefer when white sneakers look a little bit more worn in. I think it gives them a little bit more character and feels a bit more natural. So for me, these ones are just perfect. I wore them all over Japan and Europe last year, and they were so incredibly comfortable. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting yourself a pair of these if you don't have them already. Next up, I'm going to talk about casual everyday sneakers that aren't white. So for this option, I would typically wear high top Converses or my New Balance sneakers. I have quite a few pairs of Converses in both low top and high top, and I wear them quite a lot, but my favorites are hands down my black and khaki high top Converses. I think they suit my personal style the best and are sort of my go-tos when I'm popping on a quick and easy everyday look. Other brands to consider when shopping for an everyday sneaker would be New Balance, Nike, Vans, Superga and Veja. In this category, you might also want to include a pair of running shoes. As you guys probably already know, I do not run, but I do go on a lot of long walks. And for this, I typically wear my New Balance sneakers the most. I also have a pair of all white New Balance sneakers, and I get a lot of use out of these ones too. I surprisingly wear my khaki Converses quite a lot on days where I feel like I'm wearing a bit too much black or my outfit is quite tonal. I'll opt for a khaki high top Converse instead. Okay, so next up I'm going to talk about black shoes. I think that every wardrobe needs one pair of simple black shoes, whether this is loafers, lace-ups or something different. It really is your decision and really does depend on what you already have in your wardrobe. I would recommend at the very least owning one pair of black loafers, but what style, cut and texture you go for is completely up to you. These are the 3 pairs of black shoes I wear the most in my wardrobe. So the first pair is my Gucci loafers. I wear these all the time and recently have also been wearing them with black stockings or black socks underneath during winter. Next up are my Louis Vuitton platform derby shoes. These were quite the investment. I bought them late last year, right before I went to London for a job, and have loved them ever since. I actually even wore them to a wedding in Thailand last year, as they're super comfortable and the platform heel adds a bit of extra height and makes them perfect for that dressy but comfortable look. And lastly, you guys already know how much I love my low top Doc Martens. I wear them all the time. I also recently got a pair with green stitching, and I will try and share these with you soon, but they are the exact same, just with green stitching rather than the usual yellow stitching. Okay, so next up we are talking about boot heels, which are an absolute essential to any wardrobe. I opt to wear boot heels over normal heels to almost all events in the evening. They're so much more comfortable and make my foot feel far more secure. I have a few pairs of boot heels in varying colors, but you probably already know my favorites are definitely the black square toe boot heels from 80. The other pairs I have that I thought I would show you are my Garni cowboy boot heel in Croc Dark Brown. I bought these in late 2018 or maybe early 2019. Cowboy style boot was really on trend. I do still like these boots, but I do not wear them as much as some of the other ones. I also have these really nice ones from By Far in Croc Brown. I wear these really often and I love the square toe and also that the heel is not too high. I love wearing these with black jeans or trousers, but they also look really good with a skirt or a dress. Lastly, I want to share with you these below the knee boots from By Far. I wear them so much throughout the whole year. In summer I wear them with mini skirts and bike shorts, and in winter with stockings and dresses. They are incredibly versatile and one of the best pairs of boots that I own. I really don't think that owning a pair of under the knee or over the knee boots are totally necessary in your wardrobe. I think that the most important boot you would want to have in your wardrobe is a black boot with a heel that feels appropriate to you, but I just wanted to share this pair with you too, as I do really love them. I think your wardrobe could also have a pair of flat boots as well. To be honest, I don't really own any myself. I think if the occasion calls for a boot, I'm usually pretty happy and comfortable to just go with a heel, and on days where I don't need a heel boot, I'll just go with a sneaker or a loafer or a black shoe. But if you are in boots often, a boot with no heel might also be helpful to consider as well. Okay, so next up I want to talk about high heels. I'm going to start by saying I do not love wearing high heels. They're definitely not my favorite thing to wear. I will almost always opt for a boot heel if I can over wearing high heels, as I just find them kind of uncomfortable and difficult to walk in. On the occasion that I do wear a heel, it is either to an event where I'm going to be seated for the majority of the night, or I'll wear a heel that is not too high and really comfortable. I think every wardrobe probably needs at least one pair of high heels, and again, this really depends on the style of heel that suits what you already have in your wardrobe, as well as what your profession is, what your style is, etc. But I am just going to go through the ones that I have in my wardrobe and I think are worth talking about. So first up, I recently got this pair from 80 and they are absolutely perfect, mainly because the heel is so low. I haven't really had a chance to wear them yet with lockdown and all, but if I'm ever going to wear a heel, this is the kind that I like. Something that doesn't have too much height, closed toe and secure around my foot. Next up, obviously this pair from Manolo Blahnik are absolutely divine. They make all my Carrie Bradshaw dreams come true. I got these at the beginning of the year in a collaboration I did with Louisa Via Roma, and I'm so sad to say that I've only worn them twice before we went into lockdown in March. These are heels I know I won't get a million opportunities to wear them in my life, but I'm absolutely keeping them in my wardrobe forever. So next up are my Chanel slingbacks. As you guys can see, these are very, very worn in. Nick bought them for me for my birthday in 2018, I believe, and I've worn them 1,000,001 times since then. Wore them so much in 2019 to almost every single wedding that we went to, which, if you can believe it, we went to 9 weddings last year. I also wore them to 1,000,001 events. They are so comfortable, so easy to walk in, the heel isn't too high, which I love, and they also don't make my feet ache after 5 minutes. Lastly, I just wanted to include this pair from Tamara Mellon. I only received these as a gift from the brand a couple of weeks ago, and if you didn't already know, Tamara Mellon is the co-founder of Jimmy Choo. I have yet to wear them, obviously, because of lockdown and all, but they are beautiful and I really love how they aren't too high, so I'm looking forward to wearing them to the next special occasion. Wanted to talk about sandals. To be honest, I don't wear a lot of sandals in summer. I would mainly stick to a woven slide like this shoe here from St. Agni, but I do think a lot of people wear sandals and really love to wear them, especially for a dressy summer's night. So first up, these ones from 80. For me personally, they are a bit too high to be worn as a summer sandal, but nonetheless, I still love the strappy details and the shape of the shoe. I wore them recently, right before we went into lockdown 2.0, out for dinner with some stockings and a big black blazer, and they looked really good styled like this. Next up are these orange sandals from the By Far Louisa Via Roma collaboration. These sandals also came with an orange matching handbag, which is so fun and different for me. As you guys know, I barely ever wear any color. I love these sandals from By Far. They are really comfortable, and the fact that it is this low block heel is of course just perfect for me as well. Lastly, I have this black simple pair from By Far too. Again, a bit too high to be a traditional sandal, but they are nice and simple, which I love. And the last shoes that I wanted to mention that I don't think I have already are that you might want to own a pair of Havaiana thongs. I just have these brown ones. I've had them for I don't even know how long, probably like 15 years. You might also want to own a pair of slides as well, which I showed you the St. Agni ones earlier. I think they're really good. I'm really happy with the quality and they're also really comfortable. And the last shoe I want to mention that you might also want to own, but again, I'm not sure if it's necessarily an essential shoe, is you might want to have a pair of slippers or Ugg boots to wear at home for winter. But otherwise, I feel like I've covered all bases here, but please let me know if you think I've missed something in the comments below. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hope that it was helpful and that it was informative. I just want to say a big thank you so much to everyone who has already entered the giveaway that I am running in the last episode of Lockdown Diaries. If you haven't already entered, it is not too late. I will be choosing the 2 winners early next week, so I will definitely keep you updated on that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Lockdown Diaries.